And I'll share my screen. Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to this session on using polling tools in your face-to-face and remote classroom. We're going to have a look at I think 4 or 5 different tools and how you can apply them in the classroom. Today, I'm Rebecca Riley. I'm a learning technologist with Innovate at Grimsby Institute, and I'm the designated learning technologist for schools. So I don't know if I've met anybody before. Hello if I have or I haven't. Right, so, oh, people are waiting in the lobby. Hang on, let's have a look at that and get to them. Let's admit them. Hi, Hannah. Sorry, I was just starting. You okay? So why would we use polling tools? You could use them, you know, as an aid to formative assessment. They can be quite engaging, so it helps to boost engagement, particularly, you know, for remote learning. You can also identify knowledge gaps, especially misunderstandings, you know, at the start of sessions and what have you, and it also helps to support further and deeper learning. So it is a great idea. So a polling tool as opposed to, I mean, a quizzing tool and a polling tool are really similar, but when we talk about polling, we're looking for something with immediate feedback to a question that's posed, and then the response to that question, you should be able to modify your session or presentation or whatever to kind of accommodate the response. So if, for example, you use a Mentimeter to identify, you know, any misunderstandings about a topic before you start a session, then you could modify that session according to the level of knowledge that was, you know, identified with your Mentimeter, if that makes sense. So if someone's misunderstood, you know, what the subject was all about, that's a great opportunity to pick up on that. There is a vast choice of tools to have a look at. So a few that we're going to have a look at this session is Kahoot, which is an old favourite for lots of quizzing, and you can use it quite quickly in a session. It doesn't have to be a long-winded kind of like session to use Kahoot, and a lot of people are familiar with it. We're going to have a quick look at Mentimeter word clouds because they're, as I talked about misconceptions, they're great for identifying that, and it's anonymous as well. So if someone has really misunderstood what you're talking about, then it's not going to out them to everybody else in the class because it's anonymous. We'll have a quick look at adding a Microsoft form question to a Teams meeting using the actual, you know, the Forms app in the Teams channel, and we'll do the same with the Poly app, but they work very similar. So if we run out of time, we'll just do one of those. And we'll also have a quick look at Plickers, which I've just realised I put in my introduction. I spelt it wrong. It's not Plinkers, it's Plickers, and that's for classrooms maybe with younger children where there's little or no tech. If you want to ask me a question, you can save them to the end if you like, or you can just shout them out. I really don't mind. So let's get started with Kahoot. So I'm sure everybody's heard of Kahoot because it's really popular, and it's a game-based learning platform where you can create quizzes or access quizzes to use in class or online. I think the massive advantage of Kahoot is that so many people use it. If you look under the Discover section, which is the existing quizzes, so when you create a Kahoot quiz, it goes into this Discover section for other people to use. So you quite often don't have to create your own quiz. You can use someone else's, which is obviously a lot quicker. I've based most of my examples on 3D printing today, so I'm just going to have see what there is on here for 3D printers. I'll do printing. Let's see what we get. And if you find a quiz that you like the look of, you can see how many people have played it, and it's a little bit like a review tool in that if it was a rubbish quiz, not so many people would have played it. in essence. So you know that because a lot of people have played it, it's probably quite credible. It may not be the level that you're looking for. If I open it up, I can have a look at the questions and I can have a look at the answers to see if I think they're right. So that looks fine to me. If I want to play that, I can just play it as it is, or I can edit the quiz if there's a couple of questions that I don't want to add in, or if it's a 10-question quiz and I only wanted 5 questions because, you know, I wanted it to be quite quick, I can edit it at this point. And then when I play it, I can either play it in teach mode or I can play it in assign mode. Assign mode is quite new. It's only a couple of years old, I think. The teach mode is probably how you play it in the classroom. So the questions are up on the whiteboard or screen that you have at the front of the class, and the students participate by putting the answers in on their own mobile device or laptop. So it does require everybody in the class to have an input device. You can play in team mode if you don't have enough devices for everyone. But it's a general rule in class. You would have students using the mobile phone to answer with. You can do this mode, use it in remote learning by, you know, allowing them to see the questions over their laptop and then using their phone over Teams, share it over a Teams call and then use their phone. That is possible. But there is also now assign mode. And if I go for assign mode, what it does is it creates a link to the quiz for the students to use in their own time. And the benefit of this is that it will send the questions to so say that even if they're in class, if you use assign mode, it'll send the questions to their phone so they can read the questions on the phone. They don't need to be on the board. So it's up to you either way. But as I say, in Kahoot, I really think the Discover is the great thing about it. If there is no quiz on there that suits your need, you can go to create and create your own. It's a very easy process. Kahoot, loads of stuff on Kahoot is free. When you first create an account, it's quite keen to get you to upgrade and pay some money. But if you stick to your guns and scroll down and find the you know, carry on with the free version link or whatever it is, it does work really well on the free version. There's only a few things missing on the paid version. So that's Kahoot. As I say, I'm sure you've used it, but do consider just using it for a couple of questions in your session just to assess a little bit of understanding as you go along. Mentimeter. I don't know if you'll have come across this before. Mentimeter you can use to build interactive presentations. So you can use Mentimeter to build an entire presentation, or you can just create 1 or 2 slides to add a little bit of interaction to your, you know, whatever presentation or your class that you're taking at the moment. So if I go to Mentimeter, if you're creating a Mentimeter, you need to go to mentimeter.com, and then I'm going to create a new presentation, and it's going to ask me what kind of slide I'd like to create in a minute. Hopefully. It's going a bit slow. And the thing that most people find useful on Mentimeter is the ability to make a word cloud, which is where you ask a question. The question I was going to ask here is, oh, there we go, word cloud. So I'll choose my question. It's one of those that looks like that when it comes out. And my question I was going to ask was, name 3 of medical. I should have done something easier. Equipment you can 3D print. I hope we've got someone who's an engineer here or works in the medical profession, because I don't think I can think of 3. And then I'm going to allow you 3 entries per go kind of thing. So that's it. I've added the question. I go to present. And if you can open a new browser window, or if you have a phone with you, you want to have a go at this, if you go to menti.com, you can see across the top, and then add in this code 49898959. So I'll see if I can open another browser window and do this. If anybody else wants to have a go, that would be great. If you can't think of anything else to write, I'm my screen's going blank when I do that. Is anybody going to have a go for me? Oh, voting is closed. Wonder why. Let's just come out of there and have a look at. So you would go to a new browser. And put my code in. Submit it. Oh. Over there. So then it's asking for my, I wonder why it's not open for questions. What am I doing wrong here? Maybe I need to put the dates in. Content, ask questions. Oh, I don't really want to close the voting. Let's see if it'll let me do it now. That was just a setting. Oh, there we go. We're good to go now. So if you didn't try it before, if you couldn't get in before, you might be able to get in now. And I'm going to add in, I don't know, a mask. Ventilators, that's what's been on the news. I'm not sure how you spell that. Ventilator, that was a bit, no, that's not right. And then when I submit it, those words will arrive on, oh, well done, someone's put hip, great. Yeah, so they arrive on here, and obviously the more people that say, so if lots of people said the word hip, you would get, that would get bigger. Oh, false teeth, good idea. So that's how Mentimeter works. So it works, as I said in the introduction, because it's anonymous. I don't know who's making these comments. It works great in a class if you think there's going to be some wrong answers, but you would like students to participate anyway. Maybe for, I don't know, well-being, if you're going to ask, you know, how you're coping being back after lockdown, you know, whatever it is that you're asking about. If it's a personal answer, it feels better putting it in something like this. Okay, so thanks for your bit of interaction there. That was Mentimeter. Mentimeter is free to use. It has a free version. You just go to the website and create an account, and you can use it straight away. Anyone can access it over the web. Works great. So Forms next. So you've possibly used Microsoft Forms, and there's a great course there on the I should be saying this. So the last two, if you're working towards your silver or your gold, they're great things to use for that. Mentimeter and Kahoot. The Microsoft Forms you could use for that. There's also a great course on the Microsoft Education Centre, which you could use towards your MIE, which I'll put a link in. I've put the link to this whole presentation in the chat. If I just bring Forms in, sorry, Teams interview now. This is my Teams here. And I have created a new team, which is for my project 1.1 3D printers. And I want to just check with a question in this, you know, if this was, say, I was teaching remotely online or whatever, and I wanted to check people's understanding with a bit of a question, I could select Forms and it will let me pop one. That was just from the three dots there. It's a little app which is in Teams, and I can add it into a channel. And I'm going to make my question, which 3D modeling software are you most familiar with? And then I can give some options, maybe SolidWorks, Autodesk. The only two I can think of, so I'll leave it at that. And then when I save that, that will save it into the channel and send a notification out to everybody who's in this team, who's asked for notifications on this channel, so I should get, I can respond if I want. I'm going to say Autodesk and submit my vote and send that in. And then I will get some responses will actually appear, I think, in the channel there, so everybody can see the answers and everybody can vote. So that's quite a nice little polling tool that you can use in Teams. The next one we're going to look at is, let me go back to my presentation. So that one was just using the forms. It's not obviously the full version of Microsoft Forms. It's kind of a one question out of a Microsoft form that you can just add in. The next one is Poly, which is a little app that you can get in Teams. It's already integrated into Teams, and it's designed to foster collaboration and productivity. Let's have a look at it and see what it does. It's very similar to the this where we were. So I've actually got the little icon because I've used it before. If not, you will be able to get it from the messaging extensions here, but I'm just going to click on Poly there. Might ask you to log in the first time. And you can ask a question or a quiz. So shall we try the quiz one? And let me have a look what I could ask for this one. So I'm going to give my title. Ooh, is it letting me type? There we go. 3D. Oh, moved on. I'm doing lots of clicking. It's not letting me type. Let's try the question. Oh, I see. I've got a line missing. That's why I can't see what I'm doing. 3D. Quite a slow internet connection. You can put a description. It's optional. And then I can enter my question here. Let's do average cost of 3D printing filament, is it? Per kilogram. It's a reasonable question. This could be something that people might so I'm going to go £10, £20, £30 and put the pound signs in, and then I identify the correct choice there. I can bin them and create new ones if I want to, and then again when I send this out now, there's some quiz settings. Do I want other people to be able to read the responses, things like that? Do I still want it to be visible after the quiz is closed, or want to add dates on it? Is it required of everybody? And can I ask do more than one answer, things like that? So let's send that now and see what we get in our team. Oh, I can start the quiz for me. I think you can ask more than one question in this. Oh, no, I'm going to send it. That's a preview of what I'm sending. So in my team, it should come up. Oh, message, there we go. 3D printing start quiz. So this again would be sent out to everybody who is a member of this team as a student. This is a class team. And I can answer there. Submit my response. So you see, something like this, I've made it look a bit long-winded, but you could set that up in a couple of minutes and send it out as you were, you know, if you'd set your students a task, you could just set that up to pop up on their computers as you as they're working. Right, so that was Poly. Clickers, I don't know if anyone's heard of this. It's a bit of an unusual one, but I do like it because it's really good for smaller children, and it's a bit of a formative assessment tool where you as a teacher will ask a question, put it on the board, shout it out, and the students will hold up a card which you pre-print. You can buy the cards from Amazon, or you can print them out yourself, and you get the students to hold them up. So if they want to answer A, they hold A at the top, and if they want to answer B, they hold B at the top. And then you as a teacher with your camera phone or iPad or whatever, scan the answers. And then the benefit of this is that the answering is anonymous to the students, so they don't know what every card looks different, and you allocate it to individual students. So card number 1, belongs to Billy Smith, and card number 2 looks totally different and belongs to somebody else. So the stuff that you're getting from the scan is who's holding it and which direction they're holding it up. So essentially you get a full set of personalized kind of like answers, which you can then analyze, because they will arrive in a kind of a spreadsheet format on the Plickers website. So it's a great way of that kind of like anonymous answering by younger kids, and it's great fun, and they understand it, and it works apparently in classrooms better than you might think it does. They're quite easy to scan, so, and you can pick them all up by scanning everybody and then see it in a database. Okay, so those were all the tools I was going to mention. I'll come back to the meeting and see if there's any questions. Was there anything there that you hadn't heard of before?
Yes,